Thursday, Christine, what does this say?
Thursday,
May 8th, thank you. My name is John Milliken. I'm the club president for the 2024-2025 season. The Arundel Camera Club was founded in 1957 and exists to promote the art, science, and education, all aspects in fields of photography. For more information about us, please visit arundelcameraclub.org. And whether you're watching live or catching a recorded session, if you are local to Anne Arundel County, Maryland, we want to invite you to join us in person as we meet every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. at the lovely Severna Park Baptist Church in Severna Park, Maryland. Before we move to tonight's contest, we have any announcements from our officers. Come on up, Ed. Can you give Ed a microphone?
Sure I don't fall over.
Yeah, come on up here if you can.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to announce we have two more exciting events, tours for this year. And one is of the Naval Academy, and it's a tour. It starts at 2 o'clock, so get here a little bit early. And it's a wonderful tour of the Naval Academy. And then I thought maybe we could have something to eat afterwards and go around Annapolis and have a nice evening in Annapolis. So anyway, that's going to be on May the 17th. And then on June the 14th, we're going to go to Kenilworth Park and Aquatic Gardens. It's a great place. It's a great place. It's huge, and they have all kind of lilies and everything. And I know a lot of the winning photos came from there in the past. So thank you so much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Ed. Certainly. Come on up. Kathy, who is on our nomination committee lead.
I just want to follow up on Ed's dedication to making these field trips happen. As we know, tonight the competition is about all of said field trips. Seeing the number of entries, clearly it was a really good year for field trips. So Ed has agreed to continue on planning the field trips. However, he really would like somebody to lend a hand. And what that involves is after the club does the survey of potential things of interest, meeting once over the summer and kind of outlining the calendar of events for the upcoming year. It doesn't mean you have to attend all said field trips. It just means you're lending a hand for him and helping plan those field trips. So if anybody is willing to lend a hand, please feel free to see me. The nominations and everything will be in by the board meeting on the 22nd?
Yes.
Yeah, so anytime between now and the 22nd. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you, Kathy. And like I've always said, new people bring fresh perspectives. You may have an idea for a field trip that other people have never thought about. So this is a great way to get to put your fingerprint on the club as well. Any other announcements? Yes. There you go, Ron.
Okay. I apologize, I'm not better organized than this tonight, but a couple things I wanted to share. First of all, as your MPA rep, I do want to remind you, and I sent the email out to that effect, Bob is our first place winner for the MPA contest this year. Bob, did you hear the judge's comments on your piece? If you haven't had a chance, go back and listen. In fact, if any of you have not had a chance, I'll send you the link to the but he did a really good job of going through, and he led with why it was impactful for him, which is really helpful. You know, it was not a lot of talk about nuts and bolts and scratches and things like that, but it was about impact, and it really seemed to make a difference. So when you got down, if you watch the whole thing, get down to Bob's picture, you'll say, what the heck was that picture doing in this contest? Right, Bob? But you understand, well, you understand the theme. Remember, it had to do with machinery and engines. So anyway, but Bob, you did a great job, and so congratulations on that. Bob can now lend anybody an extra $100 since he got the cash prize with that too. So.
Oh. Are you going to share it?
No. So just a point, he was not notified ahead of time. We were watching it live Sunday night, so it was a shock.
Yeah.
They didn't
and
identify him.
that was intentional. I think it was also a shock to the person who got second place too, from what I heard. So, all right, here are a couple of other things. We already announced the themes, and I wish, one of them had to do with four-legged critters related to the MPA contest for the fall. So you got all summer to take a look at those themes and sort of shoot toward those. I think we'll have about 3 areas. I missed the last meeting or so, I apologize, so I don't know how that finalized, but I will send you some notices on that. On the back table over here are all of the photos left over from the end of your contest. So Tim, you got yours already, right?
No, I saw it sitting back there.
Okay. Well, any of those, they're judged, you can go ahead and take your pictures. And they'll be available, and I'm not going to talk about the results of that. I guess what's the day, May 29th?
Thanks for putting in these really good ballots.
Yeah. Yeah, we wanted to try to protect them. I was really nervous about that whole process because these pictures can get scratched really, really easily. So, and Bob gave a tremendous amount of help in making this come together this time. And Fred and Mike and Russ, we had a great team there. Did I hit everybody, Bob? Yeah. Okay. All right, and then let's see. The other thing I wanted to just mention is you've seen the emails back and forth about Doug's working on the themes, and had a poll. I think he only had 15 people responded to the first round of polling on that.
Well, good, because Christine and I pretty much like the same themes. So that means we're going to get our themes if
Okay.
nobody else
That's
votes.
right.
That's great.
Excellent. So I would recommend you get on there. There's a due date coming up on it, and that's round 1. And I can promote the ones I like the best, if you like.
Well, and if it's sports, I don't know if anybody's been watching Fred post his sports photos, but OMG, there are some amazing
Well, the
sports photos.
good news is that Fred is not the only one that does sports in here. So
I
just
know,
saying.
but I'm just saying, I've been.
It's hard to beat, but keep in mind.
Yep.
And if your favorite theme doesn't make it in among the 4 themes that lands out, it can also be in the open contest. So we'll see if sports don't make it to the end. You'll see some sports in the opens. So just saying. But anyway, Doug would like to help. I think if you can help us kind of winnow those down and get ones that work. And the thing that's really important is having novice participation. And if you have a shot at a wide variety of topics, make sure you vote. You know, every vote counts on this. And that's it.
That's it?
For me, I think. I'm sorry to say.
Okay. Okay, what else do we have? I sent an email out to a couple people that were members of the club that I think would do a really good job at a task that we do every 2 years, which is auditing the books. I know it's boring, but it doesn't take long, and it's basically kind of looking over what Jackie puts together at the end of the year at the business meeting, and just kind of making sure there's no, we love and trust Jackie, but make sure she's, dotted her J, lowercase j's, and crossed her T's, and just make sure everything happens. It's pretty much a cakewalk because she does such a great job, but we do need to have a 3-person team, and I think she said it takes about an hour to basically go over those books. So if I didn't send you an email, I apologize, but we're looking for 3 people that might be able to help her out. I don't know if that's something you guys can do virtually. I know it's been done in person in the past, but if you're interested, email me, email Jackie, and we'll get you guys in touch. Yes, Susan?
And I can produce, if the people that volunteer don't have any real accounting experience, I've got a checklist
Okay.
that I used 4 years ago, and she used it 2 years ago, that there's a set of questions that you just work through.
Perfect. Also, I want to take this time, we didn't have a chance to really meet in the last couple weeks. We have something
sorry.
online?
Doug is online, and he said today is the deadline for the first round. There are 29 participants, and he will be sending out a 2 and 3 round of voting.
Okay. So is the deadline done, or are we like midnight? We'll see if Doug lets us know. But if you haven't voted, please do that. It's very important. That way we can have contests that you guys like. I mean, If it was just us, it'd be sports and birds and macros and tin types, which I would win every time. I really wanted to thank Fred because he helped out with the church. The church had an Easter Resurrection Journey event a couple weeks back, and we did it last year, but we couldn't because we were out of town. Fred came and did Easter photos for people that came to the church, and he did such a great job on that. So I want to recognize Fred for thanking him, because the more we do to help volunteer for the church, this is an amazing, amazing resource that they have allowed us to have. And pretty much whenever we need a room, we can get a room, like especially for the end of year judging, or maybe some things that we've been kind of whispering about behind the scenes a little bit coming up for next year.
At the end of the year, end of judging, they were very generous and helpful. Came back to make sure we had everything we needed and all that.
Oh, somebody was checking on you guys? That's great. That's such a great team here. I also want to thank Bob and whoever helped Bob for covering the meeting. What meeting was that? That was digital? Was that a digital There was a print contest, yes. For covering the print contest while we were away as well. Bob always does a great job. And I know you probably had a little bit of help. So whoever helped you there, thank you. Probably Mike and Fred and probably Ron as well. I think that's pretty much it for what I have. Christine, do you want to come up and talk a little bit about the schedule? Then we'll turn it over to Ron to introduce our judge for tonight.
Good evening. We are winding down, so I don't have as much as usual. This week is our digital club events contest. Next week we have a program by Lester Picker on travel photography. The 17th is our field trip to the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis. On the 22nd is our business meeting. Please come. This is where we vote for our officers, we vote for our themes, and we bring up any important things that need to be brought up. So it might not be as much fun. It may not be as much photography related per se, but it is what affects our whole next year. So it's very important. And it will not be put on Facebook. It is a business meeting. It is for people who come or visit or who have access to our Zoom link. So a Zoom link will go out for anyone who can't be here in person, but it will not be broadcast to Facebook because people who are not members don't need to be seeing our business.
Plus, only members in good standing can vote. So we really need everybody's help to yay or nay or whatever. You know, this is your club. This is not the officers' club. This is your club. So it's important that you bring your voice to that business meeting.
And then on May 29th is our end of year banquet. Is there anything we need to say about that, Susan?
There's still time to send in your money, make your commitment.
There's still time to send in your money, make your commitment. Come, it's a lot of fun, and it honors all the winners for the year, and it's a good summary of the year.
Oh yes, good door prizes coming up. And Ron, I mean, I don't know if we want to dangle that carrot, but I heard a rumor that there were a couple big winners that may not be on the banquet list yet. So I'm not going to promise anything to anybody, but if you're not coming and you submitted images, it's a good time.
You and I get their prizes if they don't show up.
That's right.
They're joking, everyone. Anyway, I'll turn this over to Ron, and he will introduce our judge for tonight.
Thank you. Just a couple of reminders. If you hadn't thought, Blue Angels are coming up, graduation and the day before. And if you haven't shot them, it's a great opportunity. And there's usually a big crowd on 450 down by the bridge. And it's not terrible. Parking's okay. And bring your lawn chair and sit there and take some good pictures. Fred goes down every year. JC does oftentimes. We're going to try to make it down if we can, so I would throw it out. And you don't necessarily have to show up with your 6,000 millimeter lens to do that.
What day is that? Tuesday is the practice, Wednesday is the demonstration.
Do you remember the dates? I can't.
Yes, they're the dates of the 21st and 22nd. No, 20th to 21st.
Can you repeat that, Ron?
It's the week
Okay.
before Memorial Day, the graduation fund that Friday. So they practice on Tuesday and they fly on Wednesday.
Do you want to repeat the dates there for everybody?
Yeah, it's the Tuesday, May 20th for the practice session, and Wednesday, May 21st for the actual flyover.
All right, and just one other thing, John, I'm sorry I got too many announcements here today. The other is, I don't know if many of you are aware, I believe Brookside Gardens now has a butterfly exhibit, and if you're interested in shooting them, I think you can go online and get a slot and go over and shoot them in a relatively restricted area there. They're restricting the number of people to come in and see it, and I understand they are not happy about tripods, so it's pretty much at least a freehand type shot situation. Brookside Gardens. And I think you go online and you get all the information, so,
If you have a ring flash or like a big softbox for your flash, it's perfect.
yeah. Lots of possibilities. So, now we get down to the business at hand. So this is the one time of the year that we have all different rules for the contest. So the object is, for the evening, is to have a novice that gets a free membership for next year because they have the best picture in the collection as selected by the judge. And then same with the unlimiteds. So we get 2 free memberships. But there is no limitation if you hadn't submitted. Think about this, you have 2 per event that you attended. So there are a few people here whose names shall not be mentioned who submitted a herd of pictures. And so it'll be a very different mix from what it was in the past. So I think Fred and Bob worked on putting them all together, and they're nicely randomized and so on. So it's a little different from usual, and it can be a little bit fun. But we'll give you a couple minutes to leave early if you want, so that nobody will come after you if they don't win. So, and so you may recognize our judge this evening or not. Matthew, you've been here 4 or 5 times, I bet, to the club, haven't you?
It's been several times, yes.
Been several times, and it's always a pleasure to have you come back. Matthew's, and I apologize because I don't remember anything, but it's that Baltimore photographer?
You do?
Okay, I got it right. And if you look up that Baltimore photographer, you'll find it a little more readily than you will his name. You look that up online. I'm going to do this a little differently. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what you're doing these days?
Okay. All right. So basically, when the Key Bridge went down, that completely changed my photography business because I had been doing product photography for a high-end rug importer. And since all their product was coming through the port of Baltimore, they're not needing as much product photography. Luckily, I have a sister who is an absolutely amazing dog sport trainer, and she works at a venue over in Mount Airy called Carousel Farms, and so about the past year and a half, I've become a dog sport photographer. It's been wonderful. Let's see, it's all the things of action photography and then a small obscure thing that people aren't familiar with, so I get to have that wide knowledge base and then also the nice little niche thing. I've been very much enjoying it, and yeah, yay dogs. But I'm excited to see what you have, so let's get started.
Okay, and one of the other thing, I think you are probably our first judge that ever arrived on a motorcycle, so thank you for making it a little more exciting than usual. So are we all ready to go with the
I think
flow?
we are. We're having a little bit of a problem. I think I have a cable that's getting ready to go down, so I'm going to switch the cable out again
Okay.
real quick, even though we really don't need it anymore. But
What is his last name again? I just asked him.
Molstad.
Molstad, that's the reason it's that Baltimore photographer, not
Nobody will ever pronounce it. It's
Right,
German, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Shopkeep,
Pfeiffer
from
here.
what I know.
Okay.
all right, Ron, what are the rules of the contest tonight?
All right, we're looking for the best of the entries. These are the novice entries for the evening. So give a little feedback to the judges. We'll go through them one at a time, so you get a chance to look at it, and then we'll go back, and then you can make some commentary on each one, and then eventually select the last one. And what am I missing, John?
You're not missing anything, but you tell me the winner gets a free membership. That's $40 value for going to the field trips next year.
Right.
So you're getting potentially paid $40 to go to the field trip next year.
And we're going to do this next year too.
Love
this
it.
time. So just get in practice, those of you who are interested in getting engaged in this. Okay, we'll just look at each one.
You want to read these, Ron? Can you see that bullet better than I can?
Sure. Number one is lace curtains. Count the crosses. Flower portal. And wall of fire. And number 6, arboretum.
On and in the mic.
Oh.
They won't hear him online if he doesn't have it.
Okay, love the layering on this one. I do this technique myself all the time, so yeah, I really enjoy that you use that. The vertical lines of the tree and then the horizontal line, nice composition there and competing, nice little juxtaposition. And for this, I feel like it's kind of the colors that are really the mainstay of this image, especially that vibrant blue and kind of a little bit of the soft pinks that are coming in through the edges of the flowers. I'm gonna go to the next image.
So you can do in or out if you want this round.
Okay. I'm going to say out. All right, well done, black and white, really wonderful tonal range. Like really, really good on your tonal range. Really good sharpness, lots of detail throughout. Although it being a little bit crooked is a little bit disconcerting. But also your exposure is very well done, especially not blowing out any of those highlights and really keeping strong shadows. I'm going to say in for this one. All right, another good tonal range in the black and white. It's a little bit flat in the blacks, but I kind of like that faded look, especially with this kind of subject matter that has that ancient, old feel to it. So your editing style matches it. Composition-wise, another well-done layering technique, having something in your foreground to draw the eye in. Although the sharpness on this, I'm not really sure what the main point of focus is supposed to be in this image. The foreground is a little bit soft and the background is soft as well. So I'm going to say out on that. All right, really good color and form piece. Well use of the border that's already there to create a second border. Very strong geometrical design. Very good on your editing to have it straight and symmetrical. It's well exposed. The colors for this, I wouldn't mind seeing them be a bit more vibrant since it's the essence of the image here, and it's got Wall of Fire as your title, so I'd like to see that really look fiery and have a bit more intensity to it. Going to say out. All right, nice use of low aperture, blurring out your background to get rid of all that distraction because it does look like it was a bit busy there. well exposed, not blowing out any of those nice delicate flower petals. Let's see. It does look. The focus is a little bit off, but I'm not going to be too rough on that. With it being kind of a soft image and it having a soft feel, I don't mind it not having that pinpoint sharp tackness to it. And then the composition, I wouldn't mind the bottom being cropped out a little bit. Those extra flowers coming in aren't completely necessary, but they're not that distracting. I'll say in for this one.
I believe that is it.
Yeah, so we got 2 to go through? Okay.
I can find the button from all the way over here.
Okay, so
Yeah.
pick the one that you'd like out of these two.
I can blow up either of them or both of them, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, let me go back and forth real quick. Blow up on both of them. Okay. And the other one?
Let me go back to the first one because I don't know why it zoomed in. There you go.
I'm going to go with the black and white as the selection. Yeah, that's my pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like your tonal range. Also, I'll admit this one's a little bit of a bias if I just like the theme. That's why I came here for the Sacred Spaces competition last year. But yeah, I like the tonal range. It's just a really good black and white. It's a welcoming and kind of, I don't know, I enjoy this. This is the type of thing I shoot myself, so you got me on that.
Okay, the winner of our novice membership for next year is number 2, Count the Crosses. I don't have initials on that one. Who is that?
That would be
Nancy.
She can tell us about it. Can you tell us about your book?
Yeah, this was from Stevensville last week. Several of us had a great time. And there wasn't anything specific, but I did like the geometry of it. So if you can find more than 5 crosses, let me know, because I'm counting reflections and shadows. But it just seemed to kind of all come together, so thank you.
Very nice.
Very
Congratulations, Nancy.
Matthew, we were not going to let you off quite so easy with the next one. Because my best count, we have
537.
close, it's 55.
Oh, close enough.
That's not too bad.
You can make some comment. We'll go through the images, all 55. and we'll- Yeah, go back, yeah.
Want to read them or me too?
Go ahead, John, you have a better voice than I do.
I don't know about that. Let me bring up it on my screen, full screen. There we go. Get rid of that old panel over there. There we go. Number 1, Arlington Mono. Number 2, the 1902 train station. Number 3, Jug Bay November Mono. Number 4, Stevensville Color. Number 5, Cherry Blossom Alternative. Number 6, Brighton Dam Mono. Number 7, Arlington December Mono. Number 8, 2024 Banquet. Number 9, Stevensville, April. Ten, 2024 Banquet. 11, Near Us, Botanical Gardens, April. 12, Fun at the Fair. 13, Great Falls, Virginia. 14, Jug Bay, November. 15, Great Falls, Virginia. 16, Brighton Azalea Gardens. 17, Arboretum Mono. 18, 2024 Picnic. 19, Fire Pit, May 10th, 2025. Number 20, Chesapeake City Mono. Number 21, Brighton Azalea Gardens. Number 22, Arlington Color. Number 23, Fire Pit, May 10th, 2025. 24, Arboretum Color. Number 25, Arlington National Cemetery. Number 26, Cherry Blossoms 2025. Number 27, Rectory of Episcopal Church. 28, Arundel Camera Club 2024 Picnic. Number 29, Chesapeake City Color. 30, Arlington National Cemetery. 31, 2024 Christmas Party. 32, Frederick October Mono. 33, Shanks Ferry Color. 34, Camera Club Tabletop February 25. 35, Stevensville Train April. 36, Shanks Ferry Mono. 37, Hold On. 38, Eastern State Mono. 39, Amphitheater. Number 40, Brighton Dam Color. Number 41, Eastern State Color. Number 42, Magazine Worthy. Number 43, Cherry Blossoms. Number 44, Patuxent Color. Number 45, 2024 Christmas Party. Number 46, Arlington, December. Number 47, Arlington, Unknown Soldier. Number 48, Patuxent, Mono. Number 49, Frederick. '50, Stevensville, Mono. '51, 2024 Banquet. '52, Arlington Door Hardware. '53, If You Can Only Smell Them. '54, Camera Club Tabletop, February 25. '55, Botanical Gardens, April. And I believe that's it. While I go back to image number 1, Kathy, this is a perfect exclamation point of how great our field trip team, Ed, does. And I don't know if, Ed, have you had any help this year?
Have you had help?
Who do you want to thank for helping you this year?
I think it was Monique and Diane Batcher.
Fantastic. Monique and Diane, and of course our field trip chair, Ed. This really proves how amazing our field trips are at the Camera Club, especially this year. I haven't seen this much variety in several years, so great work, guys.
Actually, yeah, I'll second that. I'm thinking my mom's still over in Odenton, and she's the one that taught me photography. I'm going to tell her she should come check you all out.
I'd love to have her.
There you go.
All right, this again is a wonderful black and white. This is amazing tonal range, and when I say it has good tonal range, I mean it has a large gamut of grays. It's not just very black and very white, it's lots of grays throughout. So this one, wonderful job with that. Lots of detail. I love the capture of the architecture using the semicircle to guide the eye around the frame and move you throughout all of the intricacies in there. You captured a lot of detail. I'm going to say in for now on this one. All right, this is another one. Lots of tonal range, lots of gray going throughout. I'm liking the composition and these leading lines you got going to the caboose sitting back here. I'll say the lighting's not really helping you. It's a little bit flat. This seems like it would be, you just need some drama from your lighting to help you out though, and you're not getting anything. But yeah, strong composition. It's nice and sharp. Just the lighting did not help you. I'm going to say out. Now this one is kind of contrasty. A lot of heavy black and then not quite pure white, but pretty stark contrast here. Really enjoying this composition as well. Another good use of leading line, guiding you through the frame, moving you north to south. And like the juxtaposition basically of all the busyness of the brush around the path. You have all of that to get lost in and just the craziness, but then your eye has a nice, easy way to get out of all of it. I'll say in for now. Really great color capture there. Wonderful composition, really good job with your silhouette. Although it's just a little soft. Yeah, if the silhouette of the photographer was really nice and tack sharp, that would be great, especially placing him in the reflection of the sunset there. That's really good composition, but yeah, the softness just takes me out of this. Out. Great color pick, real nice, vibrant color. This is fun and wonderful. And I also, I'm a little bit jealous because I remember this event coming around and something came up and I wasn't able to make it. So yeah, you're giving me all sorts of FOMO right now with this image. But I love all the other little ones that you have placed throughout this other kite. It's really good composition there. I'm going to say out on this one, just kind of strength of competition. Wow. This really has a nostalgic photography feel to it. This seems like something from an old master. The lighting is absolutely wonderful. Really nice soft focus. It looks like, and this looks like this could be you were talking about tintype, so now I'm wondering if it's a tintype or something with wet plate, but this is really wonderfully done. I'm going to say in for now. All right, nice fisheye here, getting a whole, well, it seems like pretty much all of that Coliseum there. Did a pretty good job of balancing your blacks and whites here. It looks like there's some detail in almost even these real dark blacks. I'm still getting some detail in bits of the ground there. Might get blown out. Actually, I have a laser pointer. That's right. Yeah, it looks like it might get blown out a little bit up there. But I'm going to say out on this one. It's mostly on the fisheyes. I kind of like to see it cropped in a little bit so you get rid of the fisheye corners on them. So yeah, out on that one. All right, nice, wonderful portrait. Again, good tonal range, lots of grays throughout there. Really nice and tack sharp on the eyes, which is what you really need for portraits. And then it's a portrait done in portrait. A lot of people tend to forget that one, so I'm glad you remembered that. Also, nice job of kind of composing it in a way that this person in the background does not create a distraction. And quite honestly, the buttons going up the seam kind of even creates a nice little background. So I kind of like that. In for now. This is another photograph that I have quite a lot of myself. I go and do this all the time, so this is right up my alley. Really good detail. I like the composition, having it in there angular, filling the frame, and really getting the whole vehicle. I'm going back and forth between this being color or black and white. It seems like if you want this to be color, I feel like the blue needs to be punched up and maybe that purple a bit more. And then maybe burn out the background a little bit, that or go black and white and really make it age distressed and have the whole edit style match the subject matter. I'm gonna say out on this one for now. All right, good event photography scene, good lighting, a good balance of your flash and natural light that was available. For this though, since it's kind of just the back of someone's head, that's the main point of focus, and we're not focused on anyone's face, that takes me out of it a little bit, so I'm going to say out for this one. All right, another high contrast black and white. And this fisheye kind of does what I was talking about of cropping in a bit more. Like those aren't really that distracting to me. And I like this use of the fisheye to really capture that weird, strange architecture and give it some flow. I don't know, I'm going to say out on this one though. Oh, wonderful fun, high energy. This is great, kind of good. Well, not necessarily peak action, but it really strongly captures the action and the facial expressions. That's like the main thing. You got them laughing, engaging, wonderful. And for as busy as a scene as this is, you managed to layer it and balance all of that really well. Also, wonderful capturing of your colors. They're all very well rendered. They don't seem oversaturated. In for this. All right, very dramatic, very grand landscape. I've been there. This is a wonderful capture of it and really creates the grandeur of this location, so well done. You know, this is one where, again, time of day could have been a bit kinder to you and giving you some more dramatic lighting and some better kind of color for your scene. It all comes across a bit homogeneous between it mostly being these grays and blues that are about the same, and then you just have the green to contrast. And honestly, the tourists down here are kind of all a little bit distracting. I'm going to say out on this one. All right, this one has me a little bit confused because this is supposed to be field trips and this looks like someone's studio. So for that, lots of credit to you for being able to be out in the field and make something look like studio work.
And actually, we did have an event.
Oh, this is from the tabletop one?
Tabletop, so that.
Okay. All right. Well, you're doing well with that. Good job picking up the detail and especially the colors. These natural colors are fading between each other very well. They don't seem overdone. I'm going to say out on this one. All right, another good tonal range. Nice dramatic capture of the landscape. Also kind of good use of this rock formation here at the front to bring that across and then create some leading lines and brings me up to this nice little bit of highlights and shadows that are going on there. But this is one where I feel like you maybe could have kind of cropped off right there, because a lot of this stuff over on the left side, it's not really doing anything for me, and still had a zigzag go up that way, still have this little waterfall as a point of interest, and it would have a bit more direction going towards it. But yeah, I'm kind of getting lost in this photo of where to go, and since it's such a... honestly, this one doesn't have, it's really neutral gray throughout most of this image. So my eyes are just kind of floating around this and not really landing on anywhere particular. I'm going to say out on this. Really well captured with these colors. I'm loving the fades from the pinks going in there. You really did a good job capturing all those. Nice use of your lighting and not blowing things out. Even these flowers back here are all looking pretty good. I mean, other than that little patch of sun there, which is not a distraction at all. And I like that you have a person included in this to give some context, but I'd kind of like to be, I'd either like her to be more engaged with the flowers and interacting, or for her to be more prominent as a subject, maybe to see her face or see her enjoying these flowers. Yeah, the fact that I kind of can't engage with her at all is taking me out of this a little bit. I'm going to say out. Another one that has a very classic feel, wonderfully done on your lighting. Really good zooming in, or zooming in with your feet rather than a zoom lens, I should say, and blurring out all of this background, really filling the frame with this flower and capturing all the detail. In for this one. Another good portraiture, another good job with, well, you did a square crop, which still works great for portraits. And good detail in the eyes, Although the brightness down here at the bottom is a little bit distracting. I like to see that kind of taken down a little bit and having his face brightened up a little bit and really bring out the eyes to emphasize the portrait of it. I'm going to say out for this. Very high contrast black and white. This one has almost no medium grays. But nice, relaxing. It's a tranquil image. But yeah, I'm not really that engaged with it, to be honest. The faces are a little bit blurry. I'd kind of like them to be sharp and that to be the focus, like the people. To me, are the main story here, not the fire, so I'd like to see them emphasized a bit more out on this. Oh, this is another wonderful high contrast. Really well done with the time of day to get that shadow and create some drama there between your highlight and shadow on the steeple. Really good detail capturing all that stonework, all of the shingles on the steeple. A good composition, very strong geometric composition with your architecture. And I'm really liking these bushes kind of shrouding a big amount of the structure and then it just kind of popping up out of the back. In for this. All right, more portraits. Another square crop too. I like the square crops. Again, a wonderful background in this. That floral background is a wonderful complement with him. And good composition, having him centered, really nice and sharp on his face. I enjoy that. But the whole photo itself is a little dark. I'd like to see the whole thing brightened up a bit, and especially really like the eyes. I want to see some brightness in the eyes. So I'm going to say out on this one. Really strong composition here, a wonderful use of rule of thirds in this. Good color capture, not really blowing out any of these, especially the golds on the uniform. Those can sometimes get kind of cartoony, so you did a very good job with that. The overall image is well exposed, but this big patch of white here is really drawing my attention. Honestly, the whole ground is really drawing my attention. Cement is, we usually don't think of it, but cement's highly reflective and really throws a lot of light back at the camera. So if you have a lot of cement in your scene, it's not a bad idea to tone it down. And honestly, in doing professional stuff, it's not that uncommon that you will spray down concrete like this to make it wet and darken it. That's one of the professional tricks, but of course you can do editing and post. So I think that would, yeah, a darker concrete would really highlight the soldier. It would bring him out more. But I'm going to say out for now. All right, a bonfire again. And this is what I'm talking about. This really focuses in on the people. It has them engaging with each other. They're happy and smiling and fun. I'll be honest, I'd like to see this one edited the way the black and white is, because that blue tarp in the background is just too much of a color draw for me, and it's pulling me right in. But you know what, you could also crop that off and do this a square crop and really focus it on these two people having a nice time enjoying each other's company. Out for now. All right. Good job detailing those flowers, getting a lot of that color popping out, especially the nice fade from the inner petals to the outer. This is something I wouldn't mind seeing cropped off. A lot of this on the right just doesn't do much to the image at all. If it was action, I could see having that as some space for it to move into, but since these are just flowers that aren't going anywhere, go ahead and get rid of that and just really make it about these flowers. Because you did a wonderful job with the color as well, so I'd say really emphasize those. Out on this one. This is a photo that I'm a little jealous of. I've always wanted to go here and do this, and something always comes up, and I've never been able to get here. So credit to you for actually being able to get there and do something that I've never been able to do myself. Good use of basic photography rules of repetition and leading lines, taking you down these fields. I would like to see this straightened out, though, to have it be leveled and for the trees not to be going sideways. So I'm going to say out for this one. Wow, this has a wonderful vintage feel, and it reminds me of all the cherry blossom photos I've seen from the 80s when I was a kid. Yeah, I love the editing style that you used here. Also, your composition is wonderful, again, using this curved line, kind of like the amphitheater from earlier, to guide people around the frame. And then you just have it's such a busy photo, but you also manage that very well. You have all sorts of little aspects. These people right here singled out that kind of are your intro to the composition. They lead you around to, you got a little family, and there are so many little details to pick in with the people here. Yeah, you just did a wonderful job of managing how busy this is between the colors, the textures, the people in. Yeah, I definitely see the appeal of all of that texture in this photo. I probably would have taken this myself, although I would like to see it zoomed in more and really emphasize the repetition and the patterns of those shingles, and maybe do something with the texture of them, all of the tone variation that you have going in on there. Because, yeah, I get what you're going for there, but just really focus in on that pattern, on that repetition. And don't worry about all this extra stuff going on the edge. Out on this one. Whoever's doing these portraits really loves your square crop. Although I'm not going to complain, they are a wonderful fit for it. This is another really nice sharp portrait. Again, eyes are bright. They're bright, and even though she's got glasses that are shaded, the exposure's been up so you can see her eyes. You can see a little glint in there. They're nice and sharp, so wonderfully done on that. I wouldn't mind the highlight kind of on her chest being brought down a little bit, because that pulls the eye down, but wonderful composition, wonderful lighting, wonderful color. But yeah, the highlight on the chest. I'm going to say out for this one. This is very dramatic. Very simple and very clean. That red is absolutely wonderful. And Matt, you just got a lot of detail on this. Yeah, it's wonderful how when you zoom in on things like this and really capture that detail, how it can turn into a whole nother world. In for this one. All right, really strong geographical elements here. Lots of contrast. You know, this is something that very easily can go black and white. Actually, this would probably make a really strong black and white. And it's got a lot of good detail, although the part that's getting me again is it's not quite balanced. And with as much as you're going for all of these strong symmetrical, geometrical elements, like it really needs to get balanced, and be leveled out because it's just throwing me off kilter. I'm going to say out for this one. All right, good portrait, except it's landscape mode. Definitely want to see that in portrait mode. Although I love where you have him. I love the Christmas tree coming up in the back and keeping with the theme. Also, just to point out that for it being portrait, then you'd have the rest of his little pirate skull here. And that would be entertaining. But yeah, wonderful job with the lighting. Also good fill flash balance with the available light in the room. Also balancing the color between the flash and the natural. You did a really good job at that because that can sometimes, yeah, the ambient lights can sometimes get real yellow and golden to where they don't have this nice warmth to them and they just look dingy and dirty. So you did a really good job balancing your colors here, but out. All right, strong black and white, lots of hard contrast here. Very directional and strong sense of this line leading me right down the frame and kind of creating two split scenes. Well, I'll say for this one, I'm really not sure where my main point of focus is supposed to be. It just seems soft, I suppose. Nothing really seems that tack sharp, and there's nothing that's really, I mean, other than this long line leading me down the frame, there's nothing else that my eyes really kind of sitting on or resting on as the main subject. So I'm going to say out on this one. Yeah, wonderfully composed, great exposure. This also is wonderful gear. Whoever's taking these photos, you have really wonderful equipment. But I actually really like the color rendering of this. The black and whites are really good, but the color is, it's natural. I feel like I'm there. This doesn't feel like it feels like I'm there in the forest looking at this with my eyes. All right, really good with the colors, really capturing all those bright iridescence in these peacock feathers, capturing a lot of the detail, really well use of that whiteboard to be able to set the contrast between all that fine little detail in the feathers. Well, the one thing that's getting me is clean as you have this and as much as the effort that went into it, there's this little black dot right there. And that's catching my eye. I also like the use of the repetition of thirds using that photography rule there. But yeah, that little black spot, I'd just like to see that gone since it's just a quick little touch with the heel brush. So I'm going to say out on this one. All right, good tonal range in this. Lots of medium gray here. You know, this composition is it's very straightforward, but also very smartly done. That you have these bit of the tracks right here at the beginning of the frame, and they lead you right up into the center. They bring you in to look around. You get to explore this little stop. You have your crossing right there. Yeah, this I don't know exactly how to describe this. Well, I'm about to do it, but you managed to make something that seems almost everyday, but then just put a lot of fine little craft and detail into it. And then with the black and white and all the detail you have, this is it's simplistically complex, something like that. But I'm going to say in for this one. All right, high contrast here, well, kind of high contrast. You're not that bright on your whites, so you're not really blowing anything out, which very well done. You got a lot of detail, and all these little veins going throughout the petals are wonderfully captured, and even looks like, yeah, you got lots of detail and the bits of pollen up there as well, and the texture, I feel like I can feel this leaf right now. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna say in for this one. I'm very curious why you chose to go with a color or a black and white for this rather than color. Looking at this image, like I almost feel like I already still see the colors in there. But you definitely got my attention with doing this in black and white. I like even though usually it's not the right way to do thing to center your subject, I think it works wonderfully in this. And then having your little balloon guy lead up to it and bring you into that center. This is wonderfully done and great capture on the detail. It's nice and sharp. Man. I'm going to say in for this one. Another high contrast, black and white, lots of texture picked up here. And another example of kind of doing the bullseye with the subject that works very well, especially since you have this archway here and you got a second framing within your frame. Although I'll be honest, I have seen this setting so much in competitions, it's very familiar. I'm going to say out for this. And just like with the carnival one, this is another where upon seeing the image, I would think most photographers would do the black and white version. So compliments to you for doing the color. I actually think it really has a lot of detail. I did not realize that they had all these shades of browns and the variations going. But wonderful use of the geometry, the architecture to create geometry leads you through there, again, creating flow through the frame. Really great with your exposure, not blowing this out. And you have this nice softness to this. Usually with architectural photos, it seems like everyone tries to go for them being really sharp, lots of high detail. But there's this nice glow that's coming off, especially around here, that I'm really enjoying. I am going to say out on this one though. This is a nice, wonderfully tranquil scene. I'm really enjoying the light play that's coming in down here, but I really think a lot of that, like all around here, is kind of the main composition. And this upper part could just be cropped out and I would not miss it at all. Well done with your colors. They're rendered out very well, not getting oversaturated and looking nice and vibrant. But yeah, the extra space up there, that could just be taken off. So I'm going to say out on this one. All right, very dramatic, very creepy, and definitely someplace that you don't want to be for long. Really good detail throughout this, and I love the little bit of sun rays that you have, a little bit of lens flare. But honestly, this is another one that I've seen quite a bit in competitions, and it's very familiar. I'm going to say out for this. Wow, you really got a lot of detail there. It was very well captured with managing everything going. Let's see, how is that? Yeah, that is nice and sharp. But this is another, it looks like a simple composition, but it's very well and smartly composed. Good use of rule of thirds, and it's just got a nice balance to it. I am going to say out on this one, though. This is, yeah, your title really, I'm enjoying that this is a cherry blossom title and there is no sign of cherry blossoms in this. So I'm appreciating your humor, but it's very dramatic, obviously, very bold with having it centered in there. It's very strong architecture and all of your lighting, a very high contrast, and that's that's the main thing I can think about this image. It's strong. It jumps out at you. It's not hard to I don't know. I'm just kind of getting lost in going around looking at the detail and then just looking at these steps. Although I'm going to say out on this one. Wow. This is something, how I was saying, that I'm surprised how someone got this on a field trip, because this looks like studio work. Again, this looks like studio work. To have that solid of a yellow throughout, that seems very difficult to do just out in the field. And then the amount of detail you picked up in this guy, wow, like this is amazingly done. And then your composition, it's nice and clean and simple. And the color's not much. I mean, it's mostly kind of red, yellow, and green, but they work together amazingly. It's very simple, but very complicated again. This is good, talented photographer with very good gear in a wonderful location. Another good portrait, another great square crop. Loving the square crop. You know, I would like to see this one be a higher contrast black and white, not so much the neutral gray tones, but I'd like to see him very bright and vibrant, and then the background a bit dark with just a little bit of these tree lights going for that drama, but I'm going to say out on this one. This is another one where I can just say it's very strong. This is extremely impactful. Again, repetition, leading lines. There's not much going on to this, but wow. And then the lighting. You know what? Also, I have to say, I think your pick of gravestones, there's a little bit of storytelling going on with that one. From looking at the rest of them, it's better than the ones that don't have anything on it. And yeah, that starts to create a bit of storytelling there of that particular tombstone. Going in with the repetition and the mass. Wow, this is overwhelming in a very positive and well done method. You are communicating a lot in this. Another really good, strong, dramatic, emotional image Y'all are really affecting me strong right now. I love the amount of detail you got in that wreath with all the flowers and everything. I like that you decided to pinpoint that as your main bit of focus rather than the soldier or the text. And that text is so strong that it would just come out. Very good knowledge, and of course your composition, how you framed this all within your frame is wonderful. It's really nice, strong, geometrical elements going on throughout all of it, and just extremely well balanced. Going to say in for this one. All right. Nice softness, nice medium grays throughout here. I do really enjoy the detail, but it looks like it's a bit off from your focus. Yeah, it seems a little bit maybe front focused, and you didn't really get all of the detail right in there. I do really enjoy the composition and, again, the softness of this, but yeah, I want to see that main mass really nice and sharp. I'm going to say out on this one. This looks like a fun scene. Really, I love your crop. I love your panoramic crop to really get the action here and take out any of the unnecessary elements. Also, nice colors, and I like your long shutter speed to show a little bit of movement, but still get the stillness of the water and have the reflection in there as well. That's really well balanced, although I am going to say out on this one. This is a great black and white. This is wonderful tonal range. Lots of grays throughout this. You got virtually no white really, but yeah, your tonal range is great. Amazing detail. And very strong composition, although I'm going to say out on this one. I'll be honest, I don't know how I'm supposed to judge 4 images in one image. Okay, you really confused me on this one. I technically feel like I should say out on that since it's not one image. All right, I'm going to say your best image of these 4 is the food one. That is really good food photography. It zooms in, it's very appetizing. That could be some professional like menu stuff on that one. That's the best image, just use that one. But I'm going to say out on this. This is kind of otherworldly. It doesn't seem like it's a small little door knocker. This seems like it's a much larger sculpture that's part of some grand installation. So wonderful job on the sense of scale you used with it and kind of transforming it into a different thing from what it is. Because I'm sure you have all heard judges knock photographers for just doing a sculpture and it being someone else's work and not adding anything to it. You definitely added and created something different here with this photo. I also really love the colors in this. They go together very well and the lighting is well done. I'm going to say in for this. Another one where I'm wondering about your choice of doing this black and white. Again, I almost feel like I can see the colors of these flowers, but you picked up wonderful detail in them, and it's amazing lighting. Although, yeah, I want to see the colors on these ones. So I'm going to say out for this. I like lenses with lenses going on here, of using the microscope with the photography theme. But very broad tonal range, or medium gray for this black and white. Yeah, it's very, very flat and medium. Man, I'll be honest, yeah, and there's not a strong central focus point in this. It's all just a little bit soft. I'm going to say out for this one.
It's your last one.
All right. Really good colors, good filling the frame, and making this all jump out at you. Although it's a little bit soft. I'd really like to get, like, that one, it seems like it kind of has the most detail. But it still seems like those ones down there are sharper than your main subject. So I'd just like to see that be a bit sharper. Otherwise, I think you did good with your composition, and this whole little grouping cluster that you picked was a good pick, but yeah, I'm going to say out on sharpness. Oh, I already know the yellow one. That's it, the bug. Yes.
Number 44, Patuxent Color. Who do we have for that?
Can we guess?
I think I could guess as well. Who do you think?
I say Mike.
Yeah, sounds like that's Mike.
How about a JC? Because JC, is it Mike Thomas?
Yes.
He does go there all the time.
Because JC's done some stuff like that at not Kenilworth, Kinder Farm Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that definitely who it is?
It's got to be Greg Hall.
Is it definitely Mike?
It's Mike.
Mike Thomas, congratulations. You're not even here.
The one's actually taken in the field. Mike just held a yellow card behind the bar.
I was wondering if he does something like that. Okay, if he just has stuff like that he carries around for that situation.
But how cooperative is that bug?
Right?
Talk about the calendar.
And
Talk
then
about
take
get
a photo.
banquet in and vote for
Well, you have
themes.
to have an assistant, because who can hold the card while he's doing it?
Yeah, because it looks like he's using fill flash too.
John, do you have all the finalists? Would you be able to just put them up at one time? I know there's a fair number of them, but it's an incredible number of really good images.
Yeah. There are some really nice ones.
Let's see if I can get that working.
If Doug's still on the thing, you should ask him if he wants that photo, because that's a nice photo.
That is a good photo.
Now, John, you know at our end of year banquet, do we have a way to maybe take, these are great pictures, all 55 of them. Maybe we could just put them through a little slideshow running while people come in or after. This is a thought, anyway.
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
60 of them.
60?
You have the 5
Yeah,
numbers.
60, right, 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these field trips are really productive. I mean, we've got folks who've got a lot of good images.
They are. And the tabletop nights too. If you've never been to a tabletop night, it's a heck of a good time, and we have kind of a little lower turnout. Bring your camera in.
Who took the picture of our home at Christmas? Because I'd like a copy of that. I've never seen my house look quite that nice. Do we know who took
Might have
that?
been Mike.
Oh,
I'm gonna turn.
He has the list.
I'm gonna turn the light on for you, Ron.
Actually, who's taking these super soft nature photos? What camera are they using? Or lens?
Number 6 in Unlimited, Ron.
That's Mike.
Mike, yeah.
He's got a whole.
And Doug is asking who took the portrait of me. Can I have a copy?
Such a nice photo.
If it was Jackie, he'd already have it probably.
Something in a magazine or something like that.
This looks like something taken with a
Magazine worthy.
Who took the portrait of Doug?
That was Tammy Gorsak.
Okay.
Great.
There it is.
Which one was Tammy?
The one at your house?
Okay, that was Tammy.
That was Tammy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Don't forget, please go online and vote for the themes for next year. Next week, we have our program by Lester Picker on travel photography. And don't forget our field trip to the Naval Academy on the 17th. And the banquet is on the 29th. Please get tickets and come join us, and we'll have a good time. Also, I just sent out an email. Ryan Maurer is still volunteering to take us to that cave that's near his house. I need people to tell me, he gave me a list of dates. I need y'all to tell me when you'd be interested in going, if you're interested in going, and he'll see if he can get us in that, whatever the most people can go.
Do you have the dates to put in an email?
It's in an email, and I sent it out at 7:30 tonight, so it's in your email.
Reply to Christine, and then everybody who replies, she'll get a group message going, and you all can brain trust it.
Does Ryan have an upper limit, like 12 or 11?
I think it was like, at most, it was like 12, I think. So we have to limit it, but he's very willing to take us, and I think you'll get some awesome photos. I mean, it's a real cave, but it's been made accessible, so it's good for all of us to be able to go.
And the pictures in the back.
And if you're here and you had things entered for the end of year contest, please go take them home with you. Ron doesn't want to take them home again. But thank you. Join us next week for our program by Lester Picker, and we will see you guys next week. Good night.
Judge, let's hear it from the judge.
Yes, let's hear it for the judge. Thank you.